everybody. Welcome to the pirate feed of Motion Design Hotline. I said Hotline. That doesn't make any sense. Line. Yeah.
Well, but you said it, so now it's canon.
That's right. That's true. For those who are keeping up on the lore of this show, please remember to maintain the Wikipedia. Watch out for all of our referenced characters, our various timelines. There's a lot of things happening here on the show, but this... Kyle, thanks for being with me here for the Leftovers episode. The Leftovers, another show with fairly dense lore. So what we're going to be doing is kind of wrapping up our year.
To be clear, this takes place in a separate universe from that show.
Right, yeah, right. We're not a crossover event with them. We're a lot more like Comedy Bang Bang, if that helps. So if you know what that show is, it'll make more sense to you. But Kyle, what are we doing today on the show?
Oh, I don't know.
Okay, that's good.
So we're going to take this delightful kind of slot machine concept randomizer that you created.
Right.
We did play with that a couple weeks ago for, fans of the show. And I, of course, had a stupid idea over the weekend, like, hey, we should jam all of our leftovers from the year and try to repurpose some of the concepts from the show that we did earlier in the year.
Right.
So here we are.
And then my idea was, what if it was also food? So, it's important to remember that here on the Motion Design Hotline, the line between bad idea and good idea is razor thin.
Razor thin, yeah.
Just the slightest breeze will push something over that line. Also, hello, and hello, Mohammed. Thanks for being with us on this wacky program. If people are watching this, if you're within the sound of our voice, let us know who you are, what you're doing, and what you should be doing instead of watching this, I guess. But yeah, we're going to learn a bit about After Effects. We're going to have some fun doing it. That's what we do here on the show. We'll be back at you in the new year, but we have one last show on December 4th as well. So this is not our final show of the year, but we are...
The hotline rang but this morning to see if perhaps another episode could happen.
That's true. They put up the hotline signal. We answer, fighting our ancient enemy, Ignorance Man, I guess. I don't know. So Kyle, let's get into my screen. Let's see what's on the randomizer here. We have populated 2 of the reels of the randomization engine with, so they're full of things that we've done this year. So if you've been with us throughout the year, you'll recognize some of these. We all remember the paper episode, the one where we did a lot of paper stuff. The lighting episode, you threw lighting on here. Faux 3D, we got the Faux 3D episode. That was a great one. Isometric, a very recent episode. Tiles and grids. We did many episodes about tiles and or grids. So we'll mash them all together. And then text. Text got put in here because it's always a good topic. So those are Kyle's picks. Those are the Kyle picks. Evan's picks are character. We did an episode about character rigging.
A couple.
Animation. Yep. Yeah. Well, yeah, we're not going to be jumping into character animator. I think we keep it all in After Effects today. But arrays, the drop-down menu, which got pretty lengthy discussion back in March. Collages or collages, I think.
You know what? With either one. If you roll it, you can interpret it however you like.
Yeah. Ever tell you about the time I was playing a board game with my dad, and it was something where you kind of you're trying to get someone to say a word, right, but you can't use whatever words. Anyway, it became very clear over the discussion that he believed that collages are not art. So that's we ran into quite a difficulty. It's a form of art. No, it isn't. Okay, cool. Moving on. So there you go. Okay, True 3D, we're going to put that on the list, and Displacement. Umacorn, hello, program. So that's what I put on the list. Displacement, True 3D, Collage or College, drop-down menu, array, character. And our final roller, food, we determined these to be the canonical foods of American-style Thanksgiving. We have to say American style in this, obviously.
Do you eat I know that your Thanksgiving is about a month earlier, but do you eat vastly different things?
I mean, it's not terribly different. Casseroles do not feature heavily in Canadian cuisine. I see no mention of corn, beans, nor squash on here, so the Three Sisters not making an appearance in this. Maybe I guess they're incorporated into some of
Well,
these.
yeah, as we discussed pre-show, casseroles is kind of a good generic coverage for what a lot of those vegetables are actually the vehicle that delivers most of those vegetables.
Yeah, yeah. We need, and then, obviously turkey. I think turkey is the same. Obviously, Canadian turkeys generally larger,
They're more
angry.
polite. Yeah.
Well, oh no, opposite. They're
And
vicious.
to
Also,
answer Umacorn's question, yes, we're going to get something like this. So we might get an isometric character apple pie, and we're just going to have to figure out how to make that work.
yeah,
This is motion improv, but probably the stupidest version of it that will ever occur.
yeah. It happens, but once a year. So we got stuffing, turkey, potato. Potato is which I didn't know is a new world food, and
Hmm.
casserole, gravy. You can have leftover gravy. Apple pie. Not as common to have leftover apple pie because it is usually consumed voraciously.
Well, it
Uh,
depends how many pies of other varieties you might have.
oh, yeah. I guess one could have a glut of pies.
We had four of them present this weekend.
Oh Lord. Oh,
Yeah.
well, commend your restraint. I
Mhm.
assume apple, pumpkin, chocolate, pecan pie, maybe.
I mean, we could probably spend a whole episode just talking about pies if we really cared to.
That's true. That's the pie episode. That's a different episode.
Yeah.
And rolls, finally bringing in the bottom with rolls. So, Kyle, in order to run our randomizer, all I have to do is kind of RAM preview this thing,
Mhm.
but we need a random seed number
I've
for.
got a good random seed for you.
Okay.
43.
Okay. 4, 3. Now, why 43? What's the significance of that?
I suspect you could take a guess.
Oh wait. Oh no. It's running the thing. It's not RAM previewing the thing. Do I have to hold shift, Kyle? How do I make it RAM?
I don't
preview
know.
without-
You built this thing.
My preferences are all borked up. It doesn't matter. It's rolling. It's rolling. We've got lighting arrays gravy.
Oh
Light-
God.
Lighting arrays gravy.
How does that work?
I couldn't tell you. Like, this is just an example of how the thing works.
What if we don't choose 43 as the
Okay,
seed?
yeah. That's what I'm saying. Salut Guy, hello. Reverb Mike, Clever Devlin, and all the crew is showing up here. This is great.
Yeah.
So, anyway, as an example, that's how the thing works. We put in a number that feeds into a randomization. That is the seed.
As an example, because we don't want to figure out how to do that one.
Well, Kyle, we also have to say which one of us is going first, right? So that's
Yeah, well, you
critical-
went first last time, so
Okay.
I will take this one.
Okay.
I don't know how you do gravy arrays.
It's a wavy array. I don't know. So, yeah, so that's the idea. We're going to do 10 minutes, 10, 15 minutes. What are we doing?
Yeah, let's say maybe 15. You know
Okay.
what? You know what? I mean, I picked the seed. I think that we should use it,
Okay.
even though it's weird.
So we'll put 15 minutes on the clock, right?
Uh-huh.
And we will see what comes up with what you come up with for gravy lighting array, a gravy lighting array.
Okay.
We'll just kick it over to Kyle's screen and
Yeah.
I will start the clock.
Yeah. I'll use this little celebratory thing. You may have seen this on my Instagram stories over the weekend, but I just had it up. Honestly, I thought this turkey leg may come in handy today, and maybe it will, but we'll see. Since we're talking leftovers, I thought I'd do that. Okay.
Yeah.
Is my time beginning?
Time begins now.
Okay. So I think that for gravy, if I'm going to make it into an array of some kind, that I probably need to have sort of a stream of gravy happening.
Yeah.
So let's just make like a path here.
A kind of sine
And
wave of gravy.
uh-huh, uh-huh. So we're going to make it nice and big here, and then go ahead and adjust that stroke color to be a nice kind of gravy, that kind of golden brown that you want to aim for here.
Okay.
And then let's open this puppy up and maybe do some tapering, because that feels like the right way to go. Maybe shorten this path a little bit. Well, no, you'd want it to be like all pouring from one location. So okay, this works, and I do like. How about a little bit of wave warp, our old buddy
Mm.
here? Let's make the width quite a bit bigger. And let's see. So wave warp has a built-in um, speed to it. I'm going to decrease that a little bit and make it negative so that it's kind of flowing from, one direction into the, you know, from the pouring end to the smaller end, right?
Right.
um, so I'm going to go ahead and make this smaller here. And then let's create another, we'll call this gravy array, another composition here.
Mm.
And then we'll put our gravy pour into here, and we'll make it a little bit smaller, move the anchor point over to the side here, lock it in. And then I'm just going to go for kind of a radial array here.
Mm.
So let's call this gravy pour 1. And let's get that centered up first.
I feel like this is going to start to look more like ice cream in a moment.
Hey, 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 hey. Be
It's
nice.
going to have.
Um,
Look, people, I think when you put the gravy on the potatoes, it has a kind of ice creamification.
yeah, sort of. Okay, so I'm just going to do 45, 90, 135, 180. Oops, went too far. Oh boy, this is going off the rails. Um, that's 225, 270, and 300, right? Oh, no, what am I? 315. I can't type. I'm in panic mode here. Okay, so we've got sort of this. You know what? I don't love what's happening here. I'm gonna make a control layer and give it a slider if I can. Of course, why would the thing that makes effects come up faster be functioning today?
No, of course not.
Of course not. I'm gonna make myself just a quick little rig here. No, I'm not. This is good enough for what we're doing. We'll leave this. Okay, and we're gonna parent all of these to this thing so that we have just kind of a little control layer here that we can turn them all from. Okay, so we have a gravy array.
Okay.
There's no lighting happening yet.
Yeah,
And
we need the telltale shine of gravy.
Okay, so I think we do need some more texture going on here. There we go. So let's roughen the edges here. Let's turn the scale way up. And
Oh, are you open to taking suggestions from the chat? We've
oh,
got.
absolutely.
Okay, good. We've got CC Glass
Ooh,
showdown
yeah.
for that kind of
Great.
gravy goo.
Great call. Let me see. That's
Yeah,
probably a little too much.
So I'm trying to think. CC Glass can create that kind of like undulating, watery surface. There's a few others that do like similar.
CC Glass is a great suggestion here. Yeah. And so I'm applying this on an adjustment layer over my array so that it can kind of light all of them.
Oh.
So let's see. I was going to kind of add a little bit more complexity to the initial one here by maybe making another version that's a little bit darker and maybe make that a little bit thinner and we could kind of offset the phase of the gravy just a little bit here. I don't know if that's quite what I want to do. I'm working a little too fast, maybe. Let's rename that to dark. I mean, that's kind of something. This is abstract, right?
Yeah. It's the
Oh
suggestion
boy.
of gravy.
Well, I don't like what's happening in the middle there.
Right.
Although, you know what would go really well right there in the middle is this stylized turkey leg that I
Right.
just happen to have sitting here. How convenient. So that can sit over here. Obviously, we need this to turn, so let's just do a quick little time times 30. Yeah, okay. Let's kind of make this slower. I think this turkey leg needs to be rotating with that, but maybe
Hmm.
double.
While you're working that out, is gravy served in a dip bowl? It's usually in a kind of what they call a gravy boat, and it is poured onto things.
Uh-huh.
At
Yeah.
least here in North America, not ladled. I mean, some people do ladle it out, but it's important to remember that North American gravy is very specifically a viscous material that will sort of congeal into a semi-solid if left for too long. So
I
that's
mean, realistically, if you have made your gravy correctly, it will turn into jello
right.
when not hot.
'Cause it has
And
all that
that's a good
collagen in it.
thing, albeit disgusting. Yeah.
Yeah. Listen, all of that simmered bone is good for your immune system. Apparently,
It is.
that's a lot of sodium in bone broth congealing into a solid mass. Oh
Did you
goodness!
see what just happened? So these turkey legs have kind of a stylized lighting to them already.
Right.
Um, and if I put the CC glass above those, I just wanted to point out how delightfully ridiculous that
Oh
becomes, and I'm 100% going with it. I
yeah.
don't know how much time I have left, but
Oh, you've got a full like half of your time. You still got like 7.5
okay,
minutes. Hold
great.
on.
Well, boy, that means I have to do something with this. Um,
Dang. Uh, I know expectations are increasing as we add more
yeah.
time to our to our
Yeah, for
clock.
real. Oh, you know what? I kind of like the clean slate aspect of this. Um,
Oh
why?
yeah, you got kind of like a potato
Oh,
wallpaper.
that's why. Going for the free ones. That's pretty good. I can deal with the little bit of dill there. Um, no, I need a background, so
Yeah,
let me
dill on
grab.
potatoes. Interesting
Yeah,
choices. Yes,
come
apologies to
on.
all Europeans out there who will be subjected to some of the most horrifying food imagery. I think there's a lot of things that wouldn't pass EU standards. Um,
Well, because this is a an adjustment layer, it's just going on everything,
yeah.
um, and giving it all just a very strange plastic sort of vibe. Um, but you know what? I'm committed to this course, and so I think we're going to lean into it. Oh.
Whoa.
Oh man, this
It's
is
like
just bonkers.
it's like it's normal mapping the stuff, right? Like it's like you're applying a kind of like normal displacement.
Uh-huh. And I feel like we should take this background and link it to the controller, but do the opposite of that, and then maybe
Oh,
half speed.
I was gonna say just
Um,
put a CC Collider on it or something.
well, I could do that too. Like what happened with this dill is just mind-boggling back here.
It looks like it's
This,
been frozen or something. Like it's glazed
oh,
dill now.
yeah,
Delicious.
yeah. Well, so um, all of this is like under a film of plastic wrap or something. This is just this is the most bizarre thing ever happening in here. Um, like, there's a big part of me that obviously this just looks really stupid. Um, but I don't, I honestly don't have any inclination to make it better. I just want to lean into how stupid it looks.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. I'm just glad it wasn't a gravy character. That was probably
Yeah. Well, we just put some googly eyes on a bowl of gravy and then
true.
call it. Um, let's see.
Is that a
I'm
roach in
going
my
to,
potatoes? Oh, extra
yeah.
protein if you're lucky. This this year I'm thankful.
For not that.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay, so there's four turkey legs in here now, so we're just getting a real big. Um, I feel like, boy, this just kind of destroyed any semblance of anything here.
Mm.
Let's boost these gravy things because those need to be more prominent. They should be the star. Um, yeah, like this. I don't know that dark secondary version is helping anything.
Mm.
Um, you know what I'm gonna explore is so we're using glass here. Just out of curiosity, I think this is going to be really weird with the potatoes underneath. But I wonder about if I can remember where it lives. Sort. You're gonna make me come over here, aren't you? Um, Here we are. Glue gun. Oh, but that generates stuff. Yeah, that's not what I was. I'm mixing that up with one of these other very old
It's not Mr.
things.
Mercury. Mr. Mercury is a
Yeah, yeah.
glorper. It's in the glorp family of effects. Or there's like
Mr.
foam.
Well, foam is different. Foam's a particle generator,
Yeah.
actually. Okay, yeah, this is weird. But I would need another layer for that. I'm trying to think what I'm thinking of and where it lives. One unfortunate side effect of using, and you'll see it's FX console. It works fine in this comp, but not in this one for some reason.
Oh, that's weird.
You do start losing some of your long-term memory of where all of these things live,
Yeah.
which
Oh, the chat is jumping in with
yeah,
blobby eyes or
yeah,
plastic, perhaps.
yeah. Let's try CC plastic and see where that gets us.
Blobby eyes, of course, Rihanna song.
Yeah, yeah.
Blobby eyes.
Now CC plastic is very similar to CC glass in terms of the. It's almost identical if you look at the controls, actually.
Well, one
Um,
is plastic, one is glass. It's a different
yeah,
index of refraction, of course.
yeah, of course.
Oh, I can give
So
you your 2 minute warning here.
okay, great. There we go. If I just crank this up, we are getting some very bad lighting sort of effects. I just can't. I want I would love to have the detail of the darker thing, but it just doesn't look good on in the middle there.
I think you. What if you try to like taper it towards the middle in the?
Yeah, that's I've gone too far. We're just gonna. Oh boy. Yep. Okay. It's doing this, and then we're gonna turn the glass back on as well, and then we're gonna put this whole weird thing back over some more mashed potatoes, um, because why not? Time times say 15, and let's I don't know, bring the exposure down a little bit. I'm just not even attempting to make this look good at all at this point. I grabbed a preset there. Okay, great. Stop taking me back there. I don't know what's happening. There we go. You know what? I don't know what this is. It's not lighting, and we've lost all semblance of gravy here.
Uh, But hey, you got it in time, so that's
Sort
something.
of.
Gotta feel good about that.
Let me get a little bit. There we go. You know what? Let me get some of that gravy back. And I'm gonna call this the thing. This rain preview is going a little slow here, but this is bizarre and useless, as some of these experiments are just going to be.
Yeah, kind of the thesis statement of the program. So yeah, Clever Devlin says not whipped or mashed, but completely whooped potatoes.
Yeah, yeah. You overmashed them. They've turned into gum at this point.
Oh yeah, all of your starches have
Yeah.
coagulated. You know, that's why it's important to roast the potatoes and then mash them. Put them through a ricer first, actually, if you have access to such an object. J. Kenji Lopez Alt. Find him on Instagram. So cooking tips.
And remember, folks, all of the project files from our show you can find later at motiondesignhotline.com.
Yeah.
A real website containing things like this.
Yeah, containing excellent objects like these for you to enjoy at your leisure. I like it. It's creepy, it's soupy.
Explain why.
Well, it has a kind of non-Euclidean geometry to it that I think I really enjoy things like Too Many Cooks, a lot of the, let's say, Adult Swim block of comedy.
Uh-huh.
So obviously the grotesque and the comedic to me commingle in my mind. So this has high appeal. But yeah, Kyle, how is the game played? Do we put it in a different number?
Yeah, we should put it in a different. Well, last time I think we both did the same one, but I think part of the fun of today is that we have the opportunity to reuse a lot of old concepts.
True. Okay, let's re-rack it. I'm going to put in 36. I'm going to let people wonder about what that's all about. Okay. Oh, I need to go back to my screen. Hold on.
Yeah, please get away from this.
Please make it stop. All right. So it looks like, I'm getting a lighting true 3D potato. I'm getting
lighting. So you see the thing before it goes? That's
lighting
cheating.
true 3D potato is what I get. Yeah, it's true. Oh, you know what? I need to fire up the, if I'm using True 3D, I need to open up the old After Effects beta.
Yeah.
Get that beta open. Oh boy, I think I'm gonna have to.
I mean, yeah, but how are we gonna?
How am I gonna get a potato?
Yeah.
Oh, don't worry.
There are some French fries, for an Adobe Stock free. There's some French fries in a box.
I have a very different idea for how I'll be doing this.
Oh boy.
Kyle, start the timer.
Okay. What did we do? 15 minutes?
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, knock yourself out.
So this is all about lighting, right? Which means what I really need to do is make a new composition. Potato, right? And I'm just going to put potato. That's a good way to start. Kind of like this. Now, unfortunately, there's not a lot of ways to add, let's say, like a warpy variety to stuff. But there is going to be kind of a technical limitation on what I need to do, because what I want to use a feature of True 3D that I don't think we talked about too much, and that is the ability to light it using a layer. An environment layer, right?
I love where this is going.
So let's just now Evan will go to Adobe. Evan will take a reach into the Adobe Stock bin. Help myself to what's in there. What does old Stock Nicholas have for me this year? Stock Nicholas, of course, is the patron saint of giving us free things on Adobe Stock. Potato is what I'm looking for here. Here we are. This is what I want.
Yep.
The big.
I just found the same one.
Yeah, a big mass of potatoes. We're gonna go ahead and license that one for free. Thank you very much. Thank you, Luis.
It's a very urea.
Yep. Yeah. I'm very bad with whenever there are multiple consonants next to each other in words. Anyway, we got the potatoes. So we're going to get that off the old desktop. Potato, potato, potato. So when it comes to layers, I guess I just have to like, where is, oh, environment layer is grayed out. I guess I have to make it 3D. Oh, still grayed out.
Well, okay, so
It's not, so I have to make it an HDRI of
yes,
some kind.
yes,
Can I just save it out of Photoshop's an HDRI?
you can absolutely.
Okay, let's crack that open. Would it
So
be
what Evan's aiming for in the beta right now, as part of the this new 3D engine that is in there, you can use imaged layers as your environment maps, as your lighting maps, but it does have to be a specific file type for that to work.
Yeah, and the other, I mean, we could just kick it over into the C4D renderer and use any image as an environment map, right? But you know, we promised to use true 3D, so I have to be true to my word. Be true to your school, etc. Okay, but while Photoshop verifies that it exists, I'm going to try to get this going here. So we've got the word potato. What is a P-O-T?
Yeah, that's right. You could add an E on the end if you'd like to be like Dan Quayle, but that's maybe a reference that you won't get as a non-American.
What's Dan Quayle's deal?
He was the vice president in the 90s and famously misspelled potato with an E on the end, and so everyone made fun of him for being stupid.
Oh, he's getting roasted. Roast this potato. He's doing it bad. He doesn't know for potato. All right, we're going to do some convex, something like this. Maybe I would like a mono-spaced font, I suppose. But
you would.
One thing you can say about Evan, he loves mono-spaced fonts. He's just crazy about them. He's always using them for stuff.
How's your Photoshop doing over there?
Oh, we've got it. Here we go. Okay. Photoshop is open, but I should just be able to go like File, Save As.
Yeah.
JPEG. I don't see HDR on here. And it does have to be specifically an HDR file. So maybe if I go export as, give me a dialog box for this. Spin, thinking. No, none of those formats. Let's see.
HDR. Oh, make sure it's 32-bit per channel.
Okay. Ooh.
Maybe.
Image. We want to mode 32 bits. Here we go. We got the bits. Is there a special automate? I'm spending all my time looking at all these.
I know. Sorry, I'm trying to research this for you as well. I'm sure there's a bunch.
Just change the file extension from JPEG to HDRI. It doesn't matter. No one's going to call you out on it. So it's none of those.
Yeah, you know what? I have. Well, no, it is. It's .hdr is specifically what you need.
Yeah.
I'm gonna
bail out. And I'm gonna just use I'm just gonna use the Cinema 4D renderer. So we'll just click it into C4D mode. It's gonna spin its gears. It might totally drop a brick, but we're gonna find out. I wonder if it'll maintain the geometry settings between the two. Can't see why not.
It should.
Thinking about it. Throwing away a lot of things, but that's fine. So this comes down, bam, and then environment layer, kaboom. We now don't see it because we have to change our material options to have an intensity to their reflectivity. Boink. So there we go. Now we've got potato reflected in potato. The ideal form, the perfect thing. Now, what I had thought about doing is, what if I just make a roughly potato-shaped thing, right? And then have potato reflected on the potato. That was my thinking.
Hmm.
Um,
I mean, it'd be nice if you could make the text more sort of lumpy, but
yeah.
um,
Well, I could look for a lumpier text. What was I doing? I was doing that. But I think what I will do is I will just try to chunkify the text a little bit more, thicken that up. And let's go ahead and try to work our anchor point into the middle center of this thing. So it's going to have nice orientation stuff. Ooh, I like how it's creating a kind of golden vibe here with these golden potatoes. Oh yeah, look at that shine. Look at the solid gold potato.
for what it's worth, I figured out how to export an HDR, so we can
Oh,
revisit
wonderful.
that when your time's up.
Okay, so what was I doing? I was going to have a look at the left. Nope, front left. That's the one I want. Calling up the anchor point. On the Z, let's get that kind of in the middle center here. That seems about right. And so now I should be able to rotate around in a wonderful way. Boop. It's looking good. Okay, so let us assess. I've got convex, extrude. Crank that up. Let's maybe. I think it was fine where it was. But yeah, so you can see the seam of the potato, right? Which we
Hmm.
obviously don't want. So I'm just going to rotate that. Yeah, so we're just going to go, I think, close to 180 degrees on that. So we are looking at it this way. So we're getting the reflected glory of the potato going on.
Hmm. Hmm.
I think to sort of confuse the matter, I'm also going to put a copy of that sort of behind like this.
Yep. Yep.
Naturally, there's no way there's anything strange or bad about any of this.
I mean, you could maybe, if drop the exposure of the bottom one just a little bit so that it pops more. But honestly,
mm,
that's something.
yeah.
It's a lot more something than what mine was.
Is this something? And now the other thing that's interesting, right? So much of this is down to like the material
Hmm.
stuff of this, right? So if I bring down the sharpness, it gets way less distinct. So I think really I want to keep this like above 90 so that we can really tell it's
Yeah.
potatoes, right?
Yeah.
If when
Yeah.
we lose the fidelity of the potatoes, we lose everything.
Uh,
Yep.
Yeah. And since this wasn't really meant to be a lighting image, I think you should embrace the look of it more than the lighting aspect of it.
Yeah, and like I want it to, let's just, I'm just gonna go 100%, like full mirror
Hmm.
mode on
Yeah.
this. And I'm taking the bevel away because it's creating a more distorted like thing right around the edge. And
Well, if
whereas
anything, could you do a rounded bevel?
so the rounded bevel was still like because there's a hard definition
Yeah. Yeah.
when we go to like the convex, right? It's still causing this kind of real bubbly
Hmm.
situation, and like concave even worse, like that. And then if we get into angular, even angular is still a bit much.
Yeah.
Like this has a nice kind of solid gold
Yeah.
vibe, right? And it's a potato. So I want you all up there to remember when you're thinking
Yeah.
gold, think potato. But what I
Yeah, because
do,
sorry, it's not rolling the material over the edge so much as it's applying it to those different faces. And
well, it's yeah, I mean it's
yeah.
reflecting, right? So if it's bent, it's going to
Yeah.
bend the light and look super weird. Which is exactly what we want.
Yeah.
So, speaking of, we need to do a little rotation on here. So let's see, we're gonna have, this is like a trailer for the concept of potato.
Yeah.
So obviously, we're
You
gonna
got
do
about 4 minutes left, by the way.
okay. So let's bring this like so, and then it settles at. Oh wait, that's the back of the potato. That's not. That's nothing. That's topoda. I don't know what that is. All right.
Well, I mean, look, you can use it if you want.
Topoda. You say potato, I say topoda. Let's call the whole thing off. All right, so we're gonna crank it this way, and then we're gonna go 360 degrees around thusly before landing at this. Oh, I gotta turn on Draft 3D. This thing is really, really borking me here. Oh wait, it's not cranking back the other way. Oh man. Zoop. Zoop.
A reference to the MASH title would indeed be brilliant, David. Good job.
MASH? You mean the show that was set in Korea but meant to be Vietnam? Or
yeah. But yeah, just because of the mashed potato joke there.
So let's see. Oh. No, it doesn't need to go back to that. It needs to go back to 360. There it is. A nice big S curve. Yeah, for those who are at the, I don't know, I want to say the potato sponsored event here.
Yeah.
Okay, so all right, let's kick it out of the Draft 3D into the regular speed 3D, and then let's kind of preview how that's working out.
This is the opener video for the National Potato Association's yearly conference.
I don't like these zooming ins on the. It looks like the inside of an eyeball. I didn't realize getting so close to a potato which is one of my favorite foods, would provide this level of discomfort. Yeah. So anyway,
David, potato rotato.
That's good. I like that. I like potato rotato. Potato rotato. Hmm? All right, so that looks like that. That is really casting. That is bright. David, in honor of that, we're doing potato rotato. Mm-hmm. Even though we'll have to adjust our anchor point like so, and then we'll have to just give us a little widow scale down like that. But there we go, potato rotato. That's my contribution. Oh,
I figured you just change the P to an R for when it settles back after the flip.
Oh yeah, that's true, eh? We could do that. Yeah. We could do a harsh.
Mm-hmm. You could easily disguise that in the turn.
Yeah.
Buds for buds.
There we go. So yeah, what I want to do is just find the apex, right? You want to find the apex of the turn when things are getting. I think right here. That's a good spot. When it's hidden, we can hide our crime of swapping out. Potato.
We're basically your time, but I think you should finish this important mission here.
Yeah, there we go. So rotato happens around here when it is obscured, right? So this is the obscuring point at which they...
Because as we all know, motion design is mostly just about hiding stuff and knowing what you can get away with.
Yeah. That's why it's the perfect career for criminals. So if you don't make it in the heist game, you can always do some motion design. Nothing stops you except for your own limitations and fear, which are definitely valid things. Maybe I don't need to be previewing this thing on full. It doesn't matter. Decided, I don't know. I feel
know what? These people can wait.
That's true. Maybe I'm overtaxing the machine here with multiple versions of After Effects being open at the same time.
Maybe. Yeah. Plus running a live stream and all that.
Yeah. But yeah, like there's a lot of that interesting kind of stretching and mirroring going on in here, which I think is pretty cool. In my mind, I thought, okay, I'm going to make a potato. I'm going to make a shiny potato, and potato rotato. That's working out.
Mm-hmm. Nice.
So I think we learned a lot. And this font is such that really that part of the R just disappears on the loop.
Boop. 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 Perfect.
Potato rotato. Thank you so much.
If you want to come back to my screen for a second,
Okay.
we actually have two options for creating HDR images in Photoshop. Um, one of whom I believe is thanks to Umacorn found one.
Oh,
So
good.
if you set your image to 32 bits per channel, right up
Hmm.
here, then you can come to File, Save As, and you will have this radiance file type, which is HDR, as well as some other. I
Oh,
was not aware there's a file type .xyze, but there is. So anyway, that is here. But there is one other option as well. If
huh.
you have multiple images that you want to stack into an HDR file, because of course, you might have a few different exposures over, under, in the middle, whatever, that you want to stack into this so that you can kind of have all of that lighting information packed into one file.
Right.
Command here under File, Automate, Merge to HDR Pro. And then what
Ah.
you do is you select multiple files here and then hit OK, and it will merge those into a single HDR file.
Ah. There we go.
Yeah.
So you too can.
FYI.
Now, something else we should probably talk about. We had that big seam in the potato, right?
Yeah.
So if you want to avoid that, you want to try to stitch this into
Uh-huh.
a seamless patch of potato, which can take some doing, but I think you can actually do it in Firefly. I
Well,
think
I was about to say this would be a great use case for um, the uh, yeah,
yeah.
the AI painting, because the technique, I don't know if I'll do it right now here, but just to kind of quickly do this, let's give a little bit of extra. Well, would we
Well, I
need that?
think you can. I
Wouldn't
think
even
you can
need
even
that.
specify in your prompt seamless, right?
You
Um,
absolutely could. A thing that I was going to do real quick, you see this technique from folks doing like doing drawing here.
mm,
This would be best if here, I'll make myself a guide real quick. But so you can manually make something tiled by, if that's not going to lock to those. So I'm going to make a couple copies of this layer over here. And then on this one, let's mat it to this. And on this one, we'll mat it to this. These are going to be slightly imperfect because I'm working quickly here.
mm.
But what you do is get these. So each of these has one corner there, and then you actually, oops, sorry, wrong tool, wrong thing selected. If you move these out to the corners, and again, it's going to be slightly imperfect, then what you're creating is you're putting the center at the corners. So you're making that
Ah,
tile. Let's see, that would be this one. And then what we'll use Firefly for is fixing the middles where it doesn't match, right? Um, so we could get rid of these seams now and
hmm.
just see if we can. Um, oh, I need to be back. Let's knock this back down to 8 here. Merge. Let's see. And so if I just do generative fill without any prompt, it should attempt to um, fix these edges here and make this into one clean thing. I maybe need to make that wider or something so that it will
Right.
be cleaner, but it's pretty good, honestly.
Hmm.
So if I do it the other way, then yeah, you would have a tileable potato image here because we put the corners, in the right spots.
Right. If I can offer sort of one more thing, let's jump over to Evan's screen.
Can.
Check check this out. We got a big old. I have a big old pattern of potato. So if you
Hmm.
if you go to pattern preview, this is how if
Hmm.
you're doing like textiles and stuff. So you can get this you can get this monstrosity going on. Um, Now whether or not the pixels are real is the other thing, right? But you are able to kind of pan around the this tiled situation of the potatoes. Yeah, which is nice. That's a that's a nice. Anyway, so fun things with Photoshop, a thing we probably don't open often enough. Anyway, I'm not going to save that. I made the perfect potato thing already.
Yeah.
Kyle, do we have time? Oh boy, we're at 4:51
Well,
here.
yeah, I mean, I like this little tangent that we took. That was a nice little technical thing.
Yeah.
I think either we could, kind of call the show a wrap here and, maybe find some other thing to fill a few minutes, or we could spin the dial one more time and then both work on it at the same time.
Oh, okay.
Though that does kind of keep you responsible for occasionally switching back and forth between the screens.
That's true. I can do that. I'm going to type in 42, the answer to life, the universe, and everything. Then we will run the machine. Oh, lighting is back again.
Yeah, again, okay. It needs to be something different.
Let's see here. Let's see. What's the year of the first Thanksgiving? Is that controversial?
Probably controversial.
Okay, very well. Then we're just going to do this year, 2023. That's what we're putting in. You've got a faux 3D displacement casserole.
Yikes. Okay, so I think we'll put 15 minutes on the timer here, and we will both attempt to make something.
Okay. The most chaotic 15 minutes.
Yeah.
Of our day.
So it's it's a
faux 3D displacement casserole.
What the heck? Okay, well, I'm going to start the timer. Go. I don't know. I mean, we're going to be going in two different directions here, so it's going to be a little harder for us to narrate also. Though, in my head, so faux 3D probably means, you could do like the Z-depth trick where you're just duplicating a layer, or, some other like long shadow type stuff. But honestly, part of a casserole in my head is that it's a thing in a rectangular dish, right?
Yes.
So it has texture on top, and then you have, maybe opaque or obscured sides. And so that could be an opportunity for displacement right there, to just try to make a, stylized casserole where you have sides that kind of look. That's where I'm going to go here.
Okay. I'm going to attempt to make a little, what were they called? A photo. They're like those photos where like only one episode, like only one element is moving. What am I thinking of? That had a name for a while, but I don't remember it.
Yeah, I don't know.
Where it would be like, there's like a photo of someone smoking and only the smoke is moving, but nothing else in the image.
Yeah.
Cinegraph?
Yeah. Cinematograph.
Yeah, I'm gonna make a cinematograph casserole. That's what I'm doing.
Okay, perfect. With some steam.
Yeah, I'm just gonna quickly jump to Kyle's screen over there. So,
I'm just kind of looking for a casserole to be the top here.
Okay. Now this is lasagna, but lasagna is a casserole.
Yeah, a lot of things are casseroles.
Yeah.
It's
not a casserole.
Now we're going to talk about whether Chicago style deep dish is a casserole.
I think it is, because it's in the dish, right?
Yeah.
That's
going to make somebody mad.
They're from Chicago. They're used to it.
Yeah, they can drink some Malort and get over it.
Malort. This year you fight your dad. Apologies to all the Chicagoans in the audience. We love your improv. We hate your booze. By all accounts, so do you. All right, so yeah, I want to make boiling. I'm gonna jump back to my screen, and I want to make.
Go ahead.
I'm gonna do boiling, so that means that I probably need. Let's do an adjustment layer. Let's do a displacement map. Anytime I'm thinking of really specific displacement, probably displacement map is where I'm at. And then I need the
Probably.
map.
Yeah.
So we're going to make a new solid, which will serve as the map. I'm the map, I'm the map, etc. You know how it goes. Something, something, I'm the map.
Do
So,
I?
yeah.
Hmm.
Kyle, you know how it is. Swiper, no swipey, etc., etc. And I need to define for myself the visual kind of space on here. Now, we can use various ways of kind of blocking stuff out, but a nice way to do it is just like a sort of fill effect. We'll drop a couple of them on. So, as we all remember, 50% gray means don't go anywhere, right? That is our don't go color. And then displace muchly will be the other area, which in this case, a little fractal noise. Fractal noise. It's our fractal noise horn. So this will help me define that. We can do it using fractal noise. We'll simply use the compositing options, and so it's going to be stuck in that zone, and then I can try to use the mask. Oh no, Kyle, we're being simulcast.
Yeah. The worst of all times.
Yeah.
Hello, everyone.
They only see us at our best, Kyle.
Yeah.
All right, so I'm going to be able to use the ideally, I think, mask expansion. Wait, how big is this image? I didn't even look.
Very large. The one I downloaded was gigantic.
Okay, well, oops.
Yep.
And oops goes the dynamite.
Oopsie.
So that's what I'm working with here. So yeah, I'm going to basically be offsetting this path in and then trying to blur it out. Although really the most intense boiling is at the edge because that's where the heat is. Curse, curse my need for similitude.
Uh-huh.
That's what they say. Everything Evan does is hyper realistic. But anyway, that's my map, and we're gonna cut over to Kyle's screen to see how he's doing.
Okay, so yeah, what indeed? We'll call this a stylized thing here, right? So what I have done, I opted for using PowerPin to create the 3D because we're supposed to be doing faux 3D here. So I was like, well, I'm going to create that kind of a rectangular casserole shape by using PowerPin to just distort this this top of a casserole image that I grabbed here. And they don't perfectly match up, but that's kind of a style sometimes where you're sort of a little messy with your edges, and it kind of looks like a crappy collage. Your dad would approve of this not being art.
My dad specifically.
Yes. So I kind of went with the edges being more browned, but I'm not sure how I'm gonna make the edges of the casserole dish. We'll see if I even aim for that here.
Right.
I haven't quite figured out the displacement yet. The steam is a good idea, but I feel like I would just be stealing your idea now.
Mm.
I was gonna kind of try to displace these edges, but I'm only gonna be able to get a hard edge using PowerPen. So I have to, I think, lean into the crappy collage style on this one. So I'm gonna go with that kind of mixed, mixed illustrative and photograph look here. So let's make a plate, and I'm just gonna take not nearly enough time to make sort of a dish. Apparently, what's happened here is someone made an entire casserole and then blopped it out of the dish while it retains that shape. So honestly, that's like the best possible version of a casserole. If you can blop it out of the dish and it holds its shape, right?
Right. Yeah.
I think you win the casserole wars.
Claims many lives every year, but we salute our brave fighters in the casserole wars. Still.
Still. Let's see here. I am just trying to kind of make a little bit of a dish here. You know what? Maybe I will make cartoon steam to go on my terrible dish here, and I
Okay.
need like kind of a wacky illustrated table as well. So I'm going to take a second and work with that.
Okay. So while you're figuring that out, I'm going to
Yeah,
give people an update on where I'm at. I've got bubbling casserole. I did it. Um,
good.
it's melty. It's
Yeah,
it's
yeah.
kind of going in the right direction. Kinda. It's a little bit more horrific than I had planned. I think maybe I need to bring this. No, don't bring the scale down. I mean, that's like now it's a digital boiling casserole, so that's something. But maybe I need to put the scale up so it's a little bit bigger, maybe. So that's like practically molten. It's almost a hallucinogenic type of field that's on here. So there's that to think about. Ponder this. Think on your sins when you look at this casserole. Um, I'm wondering um, if I wanted to use, say, the compound arithmetic to bring on the original stock element.
Mm-hmm.
And then, well, but that's not the one I wanted. What am I thinking of? Is it channel blend? I just want to use the blend.
Oh, okay. Yep, yep.
So we're gonna blend that back on. So compound arithmetic, and blend are very similar. So we're basically sourcing sort of the original, and then we're figuring out how we're gonna blend them. It's got the crossfade, which is like the amount to blend.
Hmm.
So there's that. And we're basically like putting it back on. Um, I don't know. I'm just wondering if like I want to try to get the lightness. So I can say lighten only, and this will bring on like the lightening areas of that cheese if I wanted to maybe sort of bring that in. But then of course in the blend, I'm going to use the compositing options to also reference mask one, so it's not really sort of doing that much, but we're, you know, so I can bring in some of what is cheese uh, into that.
What is cheese, Evan?
What is cheese? Help! What is cheese? But now I think just because I wanted a little bit more, of what's going on in the cheese zone, or maybe what I want to do is actually subdue the areas what not cheese. So I bring on sort of bring on the dark only, or yeah, or just to bring it. Ooh, that's terrifying. Let's not do that. It's got to be lighten or darken. It's one of these two. Kyle, we're gonna kick it back to you while I figure that out.
Okay. So we have about 4 minutes left, by the way. So I have
Okay.
my haunted casserole, or maybe Evans is the haunted. I'm not sure. I have my perfect rectangular, crappy collage stylized casserole here, and I made a beautiful tablecloth to put the plate on and all that.
Okay.
Um, get rid of this. We can't have that shadow spilling over. It's ridiculous. So I decided I'm going to make some steam lines, and then I'm going to quickly make myself some fractal noise
Okay.
and use that as a way to generate, right? Where where's fractal noise? Come on. Why am I
Yeah.
blanking on this?
Where's our ancient friend Fractal Noise?
Noise and grain. Yes, of course. Anyway, I'm going to use this as the thing that distorts the steam so that I can get that,
Right.
there we go. It's displacing the steam lines. So that's what I'm aiming for. So I'm
Okay.
going to point that at my noise, grab the effects, and then I just need to dial in the stuff. I probably don't want any vertical displacement, but I'm going to want quite a bit of horizontal. So I just need to dial in the noise now so that it gives me what I want.
Mm. I'm trying to figure out if I want to have like a heat haze on this
Mm-hmm.
thing. Just a little heat haze to
Yeah. Oh, I know how you do.
bring this thing that'll really bring this thing together. Um, potentially. Yeah, I think it's got to be a heat haze of some form. So if we come back to my screen,
Yeah.
I'm putting the old wave warp to it. Which is going to be going like that. Some regular waves. Doesn't need to be that high, but we'll stretch it out quite a bit.
Man, if we thought the casserole was haunted, wait until you see these steam lines.
Yeah, they're just straight up ghost lines. I don't know.
They're going to be very strange. I don't know what to tell you.
It's 100% ghosts.
I've committed to this course of action, and so that's what we're doing.
Yeah. All right, then maybe I bring the opacity of that down, and oh yeah, that's harmful. Okay, this is good. Yeah, but I feel like maybe I'm losing some of the boiling. Whatever. Okay, perfect. And then I'm going to take all this. Wait, whose screen are we looking at? My screen. Okay.
Yours, yeah.
Okay. Well, let's go back to Kyle's while I figure out this last bit.
Okay. Well, you can see these horrifying steam lines that I've created here. And they look awful in a way that I'm just going to completely embrace here. We'll call it stylized again.
Yes.
I think the only thing I'm going to do to finish this off is add a camera move, because if you're going to bother with faux 3D, you might as well have a really great camera move to finish this off. So yeah, we'll just kind of use a little bit of scale here, and just let this preview build. Well, we can't just go with that. We gotta amp this up. Let's get that. Yeah. Yeah. There's our time, and then we'll just kind of crank this so that it's a little bit more of a, an action zoom here. Boy, those lines, they're just doing their thing. There we go. Here is a faux 3D casserole plus some displacement. And I mean, I would call PowerPin a form of displacement. You're displacing layers to form them into specific shapes.
Yeah, that is
something.
I feel like a Banjo-Kazooie PlayStation 1 type.
Yes, asset. It very much has that 90s 3D textured hard edge. Like, we can only afford 3 polygons for this object.
Yeah. Look, any more and it might destroy the thing.
Yeah.
So there we go. I think that's a pretty perfect casserole. I'm not gonna lie.
Take a bite.
That's got a lot of appeal to it. Here's what I got going on over here. So, a bit of a hallucinogenic wavy situation. The sort of thing befitting a kind of Stouffer's or Hungerman type food, I think. So, yeah. I'd intended for the cheese to be doing more of the wiggling, but everything is kind of moving, which is providing the idea that it's kind of alive.
Yeah, there's a soul trapped in that casserole, undoubtedly.
I think some of that is coming from a mistake I made with the wave warp, and the wave warp is set to 50%, so it's like a semi-transparent wavy version of it going over top of itself. I think without the wave warp it feels much nicer.
Did you perhaps like cook this casserole over an ancient burial ground or something like that?
Well, like many things dealing with Thanksgiving, yes, it is.
Yeah.
It is paving over the bones of genocide. So we'll be paying homage to the true Thanksgiving, I guess. The other thing that's maybe a bit disturbing is like there are parts of it that aren't moving and parts of it that are stretching. Like you can see where the meat and it's, right, like. But the faux 3D-ness of it, right, is because I've got the extrude angle of it trying to align with the actual angle of the casserole dish. Anyway, a rousing success by all parties involved.
Yeah. Congratulations to all of us, but especially the people who came in for the last 15 minutes of this show and have absolutely no idea what's going on, but somehow stuck around
Yeah.
anyway.
Well, we might as well tell them this is the Motion Design Hotline. Kyle, I am thankful that we get to do this show together.
Same.
And I am very thankful that we are doing another show next week.
Whoa!
Surprise extra show on the schedule. We are going to have a much more focused and normal show next week, where we are going to be talking about animating things along paths. So there's a lot of interesting things I think you'll want to check up on that. If you make maps, if you are doing anything that has complex shapes, if you're trying to make really stylized sort of moving whooshes and stuff around.
Yeah, just trying to move stuff, not in a straight line, really.
Yeah. So hopefully this is going to be instructive for your works next week. So that'll be a good time. That's right. We've got another week coming to you, but after that, we're going to take a bit of a hiatus from the Motion Design Hotline. I mean, you can still find Evan and Kyle everywhere, but
just through the end of the year.
Yeah, and then we'll be back in January. So we're back, I think, the second Monday of January. We're back on.
Yeah, looks like the 8th, says my post-it note here.
Okay, good. At least one of us has written it down, which is good. So we'll make sure that we are back to you on the 8th. But we're back to you next week. Until then, if you want to get a hold of Kyle or I, you can find us on the internet. I'm at EC Abrams. Kyle is at Kylosaurus Rex. Those things are at the bottom of the screen. We're on all the good social media platforms and some of the evil ones, so find us there. You decide which is which. And
if you make a casserole that's somehow more horrifying than the two that we just created, we'd love to see it.
Share them with us. We want to see, like, as much fun as it is for us to use the Conceptotron, we'd love to see what you all do with the same prompts, to see what you do. It's meant to be an interactive experience. So please make things with the Conceptotron. Send it to us. Play along at home if you can. If your boss won't be dismayed by what they see happening over your shoulder. But please watch us at work. It's critical that you continue your lifelong education. I don't know, Kyle, anything else to say before we head out for the day?
Oh gosh. I mean, since we have one more show, we don't need to have like any super deep words of wisdom here to finish out the year. So, nope.
Okay, perfect. Great. Well, stay creative, be kind to each other, and we will see you all around the internet. Bye
everybody. Thanks.